So I've had a lot of questions and comments from people in the comment section like, hey, could you break down the finances of this farm? Could you break down the startup capital? Like, how do you get started doing this? Did you inherit a lot of money? Did you win the lottery? Are you a trust fund baby? Like, what do you do for a living? I'll kind of explain that, but I had a tough time making this video because I don't want to come off as a jackwagon about just bragging about money the whole time. Hopefully I can explain this in a way that maybe gives people different ideas to start different businesses or invest in different areas, and hopefully it inspires somebody young that has the same dreams as me. Because when I was young, if you give me, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, and a farmer, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a farmer. The farmer was my idol, pretty much. And then eventually, hopefully, when we go tour the next farm, I can do a video talking about farmland and finances specifically, because I don't pay all cash for farms, so I use a bank for that, and I can explain like down payments and potentially the potential revenue off farms, and explain that a little more detailed too. From a young age, 6th grade, 7th grade, I was interested in businesses, making money. Specifically me and my best friend that lived down the street. We kind of do a lot of different things, and so we did the lemonade stand. I tried starting a little firewood business. We even in 8th grade had a drop shipping business, and then probably that 8th, 9th grade time frame, we started getting into YouTube, and so we made all sorts of little YouTube channels. We had one called he's gonna kill me for saying this. Sorry, Luke. We had one called GL Magic where we tried doing magic tricks, and
here I got it.
We didn't go too far with that channel, obviously, but then we had Call of Duty video channels. We did compilation channel videos, and then in 2014, sophomore year, we started the Squad YouTube channel. Both me and my friends started it. That started gaining some traction, and specifically, I remember when we were at 13 subscribers, and usually we were gaining like 1 subscriber a day, and then we went to 15 subscribers in a little under like 3 or 4 hours. And I called my buddy up. I'm like, dude, ride your bike over. I got something crazy to tell you. Dude, we went from 13 to 15 subscribers today. And he was like, oh. But along the way, we started making tons of different gaming videos, and Farming Simulator took over. And I was really interested in Farming Simulator, and he wasn't. So around like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, we kind of split ways, and he actually went on to create a channel with like 2.5 million subscribers, like way better than mine, and be really successful. And so I did the Squad YouTube channel. 2 years go by, and I'm probably at 25,000 subscribers and really starting out. If you go back and look at my videos, and still today you could argue this, but they're pretty cringy. I'm just trying to figure out how to make entertaining videos to entertain the most amount of people, and I'm just trying different things and trying to be entertaining on there. But kind of towards the end of high school, I got really interested in watching. I got kind of addicted to watching Gary V, or Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V! For 3 words to give me inspiration for any day I'm throwing down.
3 words.
3 words.
You're gonna die. Yeah, that's inspiration.
He really has tons of motivational videos and stuff like that, and so he got me in this whole different mindset, just going ham every day at YouTube. When I graduated high school and was going into college, I was like, holy crap, I got this opportunity of a YouTube channel that can start making some money, and if you really scale it up, this thing could be huge if you really go hard at it. So what I did is I basically came up with this thing called the 4-year sprint, and it was inspired by Gary Vee. And for 4 years during college, so the freshman year of college till the senior year of college, you're gonna go as hard as possible about betting yourself and working, essentially. So for example, the goal is to never go to a party, never go to a bar, and every single free time you have. So when you go to class, you go to the gym, you get back 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at midnight every single night or every single weekend, you're working on YouTube or you're bettering yourself. And so when you're walking to class, you're bettering yourself by putting in the AirPods and listening to a podcast or audiobook literally every free chance you get. If you're walking, if you're eating by yourself, like at a dining center, you're trying to better yourself and listen to a podcast. And for me, that was investing podcasts. I tried to eat up and go through as much books and podcasts as possible during those 4 years. But it was like, man, if you want to change your life, do your daily stuff and do your daily life stuff. But at night, that's where you can really break out and essentially change your life, in my opinion. And one thing to add in around that time period, my sophomore year of college, I also started another channel, which was called Squad Farms. And so there was so much content you could make on Farming Simulator that I was making all sorts of camping, mudding videos, and then tons of people, and I really loved making farming videos, but they didn't get the most amount of views. So I was like, okay, well, I'll make 2 videos a day. I'll make the ones that are more entertaining to a lot more people, like camp and mudding, all sorts of crazy stuff. And then I was like, then I'll also make farming because I enjoy doing that. So that was 2 videos every single day, which was pretty darn crazy during college. And so essentially my goal with YouTube through those 4 years was just to make the most entertaining videos as possible to entertain the most amount of people while playing Farming Simulator. So, and I was clear about that through different videos. I was like, you guys are changing my life to provide me money to someday start a farm. I'm going to just try to make the most entertaining videos possible on here. So 4 years goes by, the 4-year sprint goes by, and YouTube makes some pretty life-changing money, meaning it covers living expenses, but on top of that, there's a lot of cash left over to invest, or some YouTubers going buy crazy sports cars or nice houses or something like that. For me, I mainly just held a large cash position specifically because I didn't exactly know how to play the equity markets. I didn't get into real estate at all. So, but to like reverse back to 2017, so after the freshman year of college, I still got a job that summer just for 20 hours a week. And essentially all I wanted to do is listen to podcasts while mowing and doing landscaping. That's all I did. So it was just a little side part-time job that I really enjoyed. And I came across the Investors podcast, and they had a guest on, and he talked about Bitcoin. And so I didn't fully understand it. And nobody understands it right when you tell them at all. Usually it takes years and years and years to fully understand it. So I studied it more. And bought a little Bitcoin, made some money, and then lost some money on the way down. And that's really when I got really interested in Bitcoin, was in late 2018 and 2019, essentially. For some reason, I started just studying everything about it throughout then. And there were some really good podcasts and content coming out. A couple of main things I found about it, I started realizing, holy crap, this is a really cyclical asset. This runs in cycles, and so many people play off the emotion of this asset. The more it goes up, the easier it is to buy it. The more it goes down, the harder it is for people to buy it. I was really trying to focus and watch the adoption of people and their thoughts around it specifically. And so you had some of the greatest investors that I've ever seen come out and say, Warren Buffett comes out and says it's rat poison squared. Ray Dalio says it has no value. Howard Marks, whose book I was reading at the time, his Market Cycles book I was reading at the time that was released in October 2018, he was trying to promote that book by going on podcasts and talking about the book, and the guests would always ask him about Bitcoin. He's like, nah, it has no value. And at the same time, you had this Bitcoin asset that was down 80%, and I look back in the history, and it's been down. For example, I got the prices pulled up. In 2010, it was down 47%. 2011, it was down 91%. 2013, it was down 67%. Late 2013, it was down 80%. And then in 2018, it was down 82%. But over time, I knew these guys didn't really deeply look into Bitcoin, and there was more to Bitcoin than just, hey, it's just this internet magical money, essentially. And I've seen this play over many times before. I did this with myself. I say, yeah, I'm not really that interested until you dive deep. And what we've seen since then is a lot of investors come out and be like, hey, I might have been wrong. I might have been wrong about this. And they really start digging deep into it more and realize, holy crap, Bitcoin's just a whole nother asset that's really some of the hardest money we've ever seen. So in 2018, I kind of saw this opportunity and I started buying Bitcoin related assets. And I'm going to be honest, when an asset is down 82%, you kind of know in the long run it's probably good for you, but it doesn't feel the best buying it. There's a sick feeling to your stomach when you're buying something down 82%. You do have this little mental thing in the back of your head like, this is probably good for me. This is when I should be buying. And it's tough. That's why it's so easy to buy Bitcoin today when it's up 1,000%, you know. And it's pretty darn easy for people to just go buy. But if Bitcoin was down 50%, it would be pretty darn tough for a lot of people to buy Bitcoin. But through 2018, I bought Bitcoin. 2019, I bought Bitcoin. And that's not just Bitcoin related assets, Bitcoin mining stocks, and specifically in 2020, bought Bitcoin miners, which I'll show a picture and I could kind of do a video of, but I don't want this whole channel or anything to be about Bitcoin. But I could do a separate video explaining Bitcoin and the Bitcoin mine facility we have. I own just a very small portion of the miners there. So I guess my point is, no matter how high you think an asset's going, even if you're you think you're 100% correct, you got to realize that you're not always perfect, can't make the perfect decisions, and you got to take some risk and some downside off the table. So some of that will probably be used to buy another farm here or something like that, and some of it will go towards a small software company that I started in 2020, and I'm hiring out developers, and I can't really explain too much of that right now, just because until it's really not nothing big. It's nothing that interesting, but eventually I could make like a little public announcement about it. You guys probably won't be that interested. It'll make more sense, and I could film it and film the process of running a small software company too, because I think it'd be kind of interesting explaining that. But someday the dream's to farm full time, and so trying to do different things, make good decisions along the way, start different businesses, do good at YouTube so that someday can farm full time. Maybe by the time I'm 60, 70, 80 years old could do that. Of course, that takes a lot of money to do that. You know, like let's say you have a dream of owning 1,000 acres, which is a ton of money. You take that times in the future, if you're going to be buying, heck, even 5-10 years from now, probably some good ground's going to be 15 to 17 to 18 grand an acre. So 1,000 acres times 15, 17, that's $17 million. That's a crap ton of money to be able to do that. And most people say, you know, you need probably 1,000 acres to be able to farm full time. So it's crazy. I'm going to fail along the way and stuff, but it's going to be a fun journey. It's going to be a fun journey trying to fail and go after it. So hopefully that explains things better. It can be kind of tough talking about money, I know, and maybe I didn't cover everything perfectly, or you have some questions, or maybe I screwed up in something, but I'll be down in the comment section. I'll try to answer every single question. I always try to answer every single question or comment as much as possible, or at least read the comment. So thanks again for the support. And it's crazy. I don't say this enough, but to be clear, the Squad YouTube channel is literally what got me started and what allowed me to start investing and what allowed me to start small software company and all these things and start the farm, most importantly. So I got to say thank you to the viewers of that channel that watch those videos. Anyways, guys, seriously, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.